Hey there, welcome to customizing your first form. Within this video, over the course of the next few minutes, we'll be showing you how you can customize this initial form that comes with your Soapbox Forms app. To do so, we log into the administrator. We could access forms by clicking the Forms option within the administrator's main menu. We're actually going to scroll down past the various modules for the different apps installed for this Soapbox Engage account and go to Salesforce Submit Pages, which is an alternate name for the Forms app. Here we see that my first form that we were just looking at on the front end. First thing that you can do to customize this form is customize the URL. You do that by clicking Customize URL and altering the page link and page title as seen here in the pop-up, and then clicking Save. To edit the form itself, we can click Edit. From the Edit view, we see that the Forms app has three tabs associated with it: an Info tab, a Form tab that has the various form elements, and an Options tab, which we'll touch on at the end. For the Info tab, we've got the form title. We've got, again, the URL that can be used to access this form and the ability to customize that URL or view this form on the front end. We've got the ability to unpublish or keep published this form. We recommend that you keep it as yes for published. Then we have the ability to select which object this form writes to in Salesforce. The sample form writes to the lead object. If you want to change that, you just click Select Object. In the pop-up, you choose which form you wish to associate, which object you choose to associate this form with, and then you click Select. One important note: if you choose a different object for an existing form, it will remove the fields for this form on the Form tab that we see here, because these will no longer apply to the new object. So be mindful of that before you make that choice. Now, on the Form tab itself, here's where you can customize existing fields or add new ones. To add a new field, you click Add Salesforce Element. Within the pop-up, you're going to be shown a drop-down, and that drop-down will show you all the Salesforce fields on this object that are writable. So you can choose your field as you wish. Once selected, you'll see the type of field. The label will default to the label in Salesforce. You can customize that as you wish. You can enter in a default value if you want. This is particularly helpful if you want to have this be a hidden field so that you can pass values directly to Salesforce that the front-end visitor can't manipulate or won't even see. Enable HTML, you can choose no or yes. We recommend that you leave this as no unless you have a very specific purpose for turning it on. For more about enabling HTML and various fields that works with, check out our knowledge base. Tooltip, you can enter in text here that will be shown when someone hovers over the label for a field. You've got some relative size adjustment that you can make by choosing from the field size dropdown. CSS keywords, this is actually what is used to stack the fields in a row as we see on the front end here with first name and last name. For more about CSS keywords, check out our knowledge base. Publish, we recommend that you keep this to yes. Required, if this field is required by Salesforce, it will automatically be set to yes here. Otherwise, you can choose to require or not this field. Hidden, we recommend that you leave this to no if you want the front-end visitor to enter a value for this field. If you, however, want to set a default value that is passed to Salesforce, you can set this to yes. Access level and enable editing. These are features applicable if you have user integration. For more on these, check out our knowledge base. If you wish to edit an existing field, you can do so by reordering it, by dragging and dropping it, or deleting it by clicking the delete button. To edit it, you can click Edit Element. The pop-up that is shown will be the same options that we just saw for adding a new field, and you can alter those values here. For other elements that you can add to a form, you can add a text element which allows you to drop in static text, images, videos within the form by clicking Add Text Element. If you wish to allow folks to upload an attachment that is presented to them on the form such that that attachment is added to the Notes and Attachments object in Salesforce for this record, you can click Add Attachments. You can also allow people to upload an image that is actually saved to Soapbox with a reference to that image location and image name in Salesforce. For more on text elements, attachments, and images, check out our knowledge base. For the Options tab, if you have record types available for the object you're writing to, you can choose to associate this new record with a given record type. This is not required, however. For custom content, you can choose how the label for a field is displayed in relation to that field. This applies to all of the labels on a given form. You can customize the page intro and page outro that appears above and below the form. You can customize the submit button text, and you can turn on or off the honeypot. Honeypot is an anti-spam measure that is invisible to your visitors. We recommend that you keep it on. For submission messages, this is what you can use to define what is shown to the end user after they successfully have submitted the form. The first option is what happens after they've successfully edited content. For more on editing content, check out our knowledge base. For a new submission, you can either choose to display a success message and customize that message here, or choose to direct them to a URL that you customize within this field. For the success message, you have the ability not just to enter static text, but to include variables from the new record that was created in Salesforce. So what that means is you can show back values to the end user who submitted this form. Oftentimes you might want to show them back their first name, their last name, their email address, what have you. Or that also includes fields on that Salesforce object like the record ID, or perhaps you have some tracking ID that you've created. You can display that to the visitor who submitted the form here. For more on including variables in the success message, check out our knowledge base. You also have the ability to customize a very general error message if there is an issue with the submission that was not triggered by a specific issue or validation rule in Salesforce. That can be customized here. For admin email options, you've got the ability to turn on or off the email functionality. You can set individual email addresses that should get this email. You can define the email subject as well as the email message. The same ability to customize this text by adding in variables that we discussed with the confirmation message applies here as well. The last item, user email options, you can choose to send an email to the visitor who submitted the form if an email address is, or if a field type of email is included in the form, and you can select that email here. You actually can choose to select any email field from the Salesforce record that is created, but it'll be wisest to only select one that has been included on the form, and ideally only one that is required, so you know that that email is populated. So you can turn on or off the email to the user, you can customize the email subject, and you can customize the email message that is sent. Again, you can also use those variables that we talked about. That is how you can customize your first form within Soapbox Engage.